Another crazy story about a wife who calls her husband controlling. She called me controlling for tracking her phone until it led to a motel 20 miles away. The rhythmic buzz of the Sunset Inn's neon sign cut through the 2 a.m. darkness as I sat in my parked car, watching condensation form on the windshield. 20 miles from home, I stayed perfectly still, eyes fixed on her white Lexus parked 3 spaces away. Next to it sat an unfamiliar black Range Rover, both vehicles illuminated by the motel's flickering security lights. Just 3 weeks ago, she'd screamed about me being controlling when I mentioned the tracking app. Now that same app led me here, to this truth I never wanted to find. You'd think after 12 years of marriage, nothing could surprise me anymore. Yet here I was, clutching my phone with trembling hands, watching my entire world crumble in this seedy motel parking lot. All those years of trust, all those promises made, reduced to a blinking dot on my phone screen, and 2 cars in a parking lot I never should have seen. The changes started 6 months earlier. Looking back, I can pinpoint the exact day. It was a Thursday in early spring when she came home later than usual, cheeks flushed with excitement about a new client at the office. Something felt different. Her energy, her smile, the way she wouldn't look at me during dinner. That night marked the beginning, though I wouldn't realize it for weeks. Subtle shifts appeared in our daily routine. She told me she was getting fresh flowers on her office desk every Monday. She mentioned a new vendor at the flower market. Designer clothes filled her closet. End of season sales, she claimed. Her gym schedule switched from mornings to evenings, better class options, supposedly. Each explanation seemed reasonable alone. Together, they formed a pattern I fought hard to ignore. I manage construction projects for a living. Details matter in my world. Missing one small thing can compromise an entire structure. Maybe that's why the signs bothered me so much. Her phone became an extension of her hand. The screen always angled away. Private smiles at message notifications. Her conversations all of a sudden got quiet as I entered rooms where she was talking. Each incident added another crack to the foundation of our marriage. The first undeniable warning came during dinner with friends at Salvatore's, our favorite Italian restaurant. Her phone kept buzzing throughout the meal. Not unusual for a business owner, but her reaction seemed a tad bit off. That private smile people get when sharing an inside joke. The way she angled the screen away when I glanced over. Our friends noticed too. I caught Tom's concerned look across the table. That night, sleep wouldn't come. The ceiling fan spun lazy circles while questions raced through my mind. 12 years of trust doesn't evaporate without reason. The next morning, while she showered, I installed the tracking app. Her phone always sat on the bathroom counter during her morning routine. The password hadn't changed in years. The day we met, even then, I felt sick doing it. But instinct pushed me forward. For weeks, everything seemed normal. The app showed predictable patterns: work, gym, home, occasional shopping trips. Then came the inventory nights at the office, always Wednesdays, always running late. The first time I believed her completely. The second time I raised questions. By the third Wednesday, I drove past her shop at 8 p.m. Dark windows, empty parking lot, no inventory in sight. The tension in our house grew thicker each week. She spent more time at work, claiming the spring season brought more customers. I buried myself in construction projects, staying late at job sites, avoiding the silences that filled our home. We stopped sharing meals, stopped watching our favorite shows together, stopped talking about anything meaningful. The distance between us grew wider than the king-size bed we barely shared anymore. When I finally confronted her about the tracking app, the explosion was nuclear. "What kind of controlling freak monitors their wife?" she screamed, face flushed with rage. "This is exactly why I can't breathe around you anymore. You're suffocating me." The words hit like physical blows, but her reaction told me everything. Innocent people don't defend themselves quite so violently. I played it smart after that. I apologized profusely, promised to delete the app. I didn't. Instead, I watched and waited, gathering evidence while pretending everything was fine. 3 weeks of agony, wondering if I was crazy, if paranoia was destroying my marriage. Each morning, I checked her location history. Each night, I lay awake, questioning every decision that led me here. The pattern started to set itself in stone. Every Wednesday, she'd leave work early, drive 20 miles to this motel, stay for exactly 2 hours, then head home. She'd arrive with takeout, claiming she'd worked through dinner. I'd pretend to believe her, watching her apply fresh lipstick in the hallway mirror, smelling unfamiliar cologne mixed with her perfume. Tonight feels different. Maybe it's because I finally followed the dot instead of just watching it. Maybe it's the weight of the camera in my lap, filled with time-stamped photos my lawyer will need. Or maybe it's the finality of knowing that after tonight, nothing can ever be the same. The rain starts falling harder, drumming against my car roof like a countdown to inevitable truth. I didn't need to go up to the hotel lobby. I saw everything. The evidence sits right there in the parking lot, written in a familiar white Lexus and strange black Range Rover. Some questions don't need to be unanswered when you are looking at the answers. Some images you don't need burned into your memory. I will take the photos my lawyer will need, hand steady despite everything breaking inside. The drive home feels surreal. Streetlights blur past while my mind races ahead. Pack essentials, grab documents, leave a note. Each task keeps me focused, prevents collapse. By sunrise, I'm checked into a hotel across town, making calls to dismantle the life we once shared. The morning light feels harsh and unforgiving as reality settles in. 12 years ended in a motel parking lot. Update 1, 2 weeks later. Monday morning arrived with cold purpose. My lawyer filed divorce papers first thing, citing infidelity with documented evidence. She tried calling constantly those first days. 67 missed calls total. Voicemails evolved from angry to tearful to desperate. "Please let me explain," she begged. "It's not what you think. You are blowing this out of proportion." Every message went straight to my lawyer. The office manager, Jenny, agreed to meet for coffee. She'd worked there 5 years, saw everything. "The Wednesday inventory night started 3 months ago," she confirmed, stirring her latte nervously. "Early departures, claimed supplier meetings, business dinners. Staff noticed but stayed quiet. The new customer with the Range Rover started showing up more frequently, always on Wednesday. Her affair partner wasn't hard to identify. Regular customer turned frequent visitor. Real estate agent with the perfect family facade. Wife, 3 kids, coach of the local soccer team. His wife deserved the truth. I made sure evidence reached her directly. Sometimes doing right feels wrong, but silence helps no one. The photos, timestamps, and Jenny's written statement told a story that couldn't be denied. Update 2, 1 month later. Divorce proceedings move with mechanical precision. We sold the house, made a little bit of money. I had to split the equity with her. Her affair partner's wife filed divorce too, took their kids to Michigan. His agency temporarily suspended him. No one knows why. Most of the time, small towns remember scandals. Reputations shatter easier than trust. Actions echo long after the initial impact fades. Work keeps me sane. New projects demand focus, leaving no room for dwelling. I found a counselor specializing in betrayal trauma. It helps with understanding patterns and triggers. My ex-wife's shop is kind of struggling. Sales dropped almost 40% after the word spread. People vote with wallets and whispers. Small businesses run on reputation as much as revenue. Friendship circles shifted like desert sand. Some chose sides, others vanished completely. The ones who stayed surprised me. Tom and Nadia host weekly dinners, refuse excuses for me skipping them. My sister flies in monthly, claims she needs help with home repairs. We both know better, but pretense provides comfort. Real friends show up when the world falls apart, and sometimes family members surprise you. Update 3. 6 months later, divorce papers arrive with morning mail. 12 years of marriage were reduced to legal terms and bank transfers. Bought a cabin near the lake. Not our old vacation spot, but similar water, different memories. I started teaching woodworking weekends at the community center. Creating something new helps heal old wounds. The smell of fresh sawdust covers the scent of betrayal. Well, at least for me it does. She emails sometimes, always late at night, claims regret, calls it temporary insanity, begs for forgiveness. I don't respond. Some people in these online communities tell me I should change my number. I don't have to do that. I won't let someone dictate what I do with my phone. Some bridges burn too hot for rebuilding. The shop where my ex-wife worked closed last month. The shop is relocating. He moved too, left behind a shattered family and ruined reputation. In some cases, starting over means leaving everything behind. Life moves forward, with or without permission. The cabin needs work, gives me purpose. Learning to cook real meals, not just takeout. I joined a hiking group, reconnected with my guitar. My counselor says healing isn't linear. Some days feel backwards, but that's normal. Forward motion matters more than speed. Each small step creates distance from that rainy night in the motel parking lot. Looking back at that night, I recognize the ending held a beginning. You think you know someone, trust the ground beneath your feet. Then, one day, you're following a blinking dot to the truth, and everything shifts. But maybe shifting ground forces better balance. Maybe endings make space for something real. Trust your instincts. They whisper before they scream. Recovery comes in unexpected ways, in the steady rhythm of hammer striking nails, in early morning fog rising off lake water, in friendships that weather storms without breaking, in learning to trust yourself again, even when trust in others shatters. The past doesn't disappear, but its power fades. New memories overlay old ones like fresh paint covering worn walls. Last week, I ran into Jenny at the grocery store. That old office space has been leased to a bakery. She's managing it now and says, business is good. We talked about normal things, weather, work, weekend plans. Not once did we mention what happened. Some stories don't need retelling. Time passes differently now. Seconds don't stretch like rubber bands anymore. Nights don't feel endless. The tracking app is gone from my phone. Deleted the day the divorce finalized. Don't need it anymore. Don't want it. These days, I track simpler things. Sunset times for evening hikes. Tide charts for weekend fishing. Progress on cabin renovations. Better things to watch than betrayal in motion. The counselor says most people miss the early warning signs. We see what we expect to see. Trust what we've always trusted. Until we can't anymore, until evidence outweighs expectation, until a blinking dot leads to a motel parking lot 20 miles from home. Then we learn, we adapt, we rebuild, not because we want to, but because the alternative means staying broken. Spring arrived last week, bringing new growth to the cabin's garden. I planted vegetables in raised beds I built myself. I started a workshop series teaching basic carpentry to local kids. Life has a way of filling empty spaces if you let it. The past stays where it belongs. Behind me, ahead lies open water, unexplored trails, and possibilities I never saw coming. Trust your instincts when they whisper warnings. Don't ignore small signs, hoping they'll disappear. They won't, they multiply. And when you find yourself sitting in a motel parking lot at 2 a.m. watching your world unravel, remember, you're not alone. Sometimes the hardest endings lead to the best beginnings. Just keep moving forward. The rest sorts itself out in time. Well, as I have said in some of my videos, being an old military veteran, there is this saying, pay attention to detail. If you fail to pay attention to the small things, they will in most cases snowball into big things.